Hello, everyone. I am Kahmeela.
I'm Marcella.
And this is episode 144 of Revisiting Sunnydale. There are a lot of ways for you to keep up with us. You can please go to our Facebook page, Revisiting Sunnydale. On Twitter, we are at Back to Sunnydale. On Instagram, RVS_podcast. And Patreon, if you are so inclined, patreon.com/Revisiting Sunnydale. We're coming to the end of Buffy here. We're going to be wrapping up very soon. We're not sure exactly what the next move is, if we are going to go to Angel, if the Patreon will still be up and running. Like, we don't know what's going on next.
Nope. Not sure.
If you want to chime in, let us know. Like, send us an email, revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com, or get at us on any of those other platforms. Let us know what you want to hear from us. Like, do you want us to go on and do Angel? Should we move on to do something else? Just like, movies? Should we just chit chat about bullshit once a month?
Right.
Right.
It mainly depends on you guys. We need to hear from you guys. If we don't hear back, then we're just going to assume you don't want to hear it. We're just going to
disappear.
I don't know. Yeah. Like that poor, was her name Marcy in The Invisible Girl? We're just going to fade away.
It's like, I would rather not, because I enjoy this time with you, Marcella.
Me too.
I feel like we need to do something.
Yes, yes. So whether it be Angel or, as we find out some very interesting facts about Angel in this episode.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. So super cool. And also you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends and tell us that you like us. Tell them that you like us. Oh, tell us that you like us too. That's cool too. So if you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, make sure you hit the bell icon so you can get alerts when a new episode is up. On to the other things. We got side hustles.
Many side hustles.
Yes, because this is why this podcast is so infrequent, because Marcella and I love talking so much about pop culture and things and out into the world. We have like a billion and one different fucking
many
outlets for that. So Marcella, you have been,
while still maintaining day jobs, mind you. We're still doing that 9-to-5 hustle, and then this is like the rest of the time.
And I'm raising a kid. Like, I have a 4-year-old
and
too,
she's raising a kid. Yeah.
And I'm super sweaty. Marcella, you've added a new channel to watch with Marcella.
I have added Game with Marcella, where I talk about board games and video games. Currently, I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy.
So all of that can be found on YouTube?
Yep, under Game with Marcella. Haven't started live streaming yet, mostly because I'm too scared that someone's going to be like, show me your tits. I just don't, I'm freaked out. But you you also have the #1 movie in America, which is a wonderful time.
Yes, it's a good time. Me and local comedians and improvers, Robin Hitchcock and Sean Collier. I am not a comedian, but somehow I got wrangled into this. And what we do is we pick randomly a movie off of the list of movies that have hit #1 in the box office, and the list just goes from like the 60s on. So it's random, and we're not going in any sort of order. This week we have to watch The Graduate, and we'll be talking about The Graduate soon. So so #1 movie in America. Anyway, everywhere you get your podcast, you can find that, and you can also find me in print, writing for Pittsburgh Magazine as well as Pittsburgh City Paper, doing a lot of arts and stuff there. And your girl over there, don't let her be too humble. She also does some stuff for Screen Rant every now and again that I have seen. Looper, actually.
Or sorry, Looper. Yes, Looper.
Yes.
With
I
Looper.
also put in my 2 cents on Looper. So,
yes. Yes.
Look for
that.
Most recently I will be doing something about hopefully Insidious 5, as well as writing something about They Clone Tyrone coming out.
But your girls are busy. We got lots of stuff, so come check us out on everything. But you came here for the Dirty Girls.
Dirty Girls, Season 7, Episode 18. Original air date April 15th, 2003. Written by Drew Goddard, directed by Michael Gershman. Faith returns to Sunnydale just in time to meet the first evil agent, Caleb. Buffy leads the troops into battle with Caleb, which ends with 2 dead potentials and a seriously wounded Xander. Our guest stars, That's okay. So I guess that's the show. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Yeah. Thanks for
Guest
coming.
stars Nathan Fillion as Caleb, Eliza Dushku as Faith, Tom Lenk as Andrew. You know, that Kennedy chick. D.B. Woodside as Robin Wood, Rachel Bilson as Colleen, and Denaya Ramirez as Caridad. And you know, I mean, I find it important to put her in there because I recognize her from something, but I don't remember exactly what.
Yeah. Isn't she in Sweet Tooth?
Yeah, and also she was on Once Upon a Time.
She was Cinderella, and then I think wasn't she also like the most hated addition to Lost there ever was, possibly? Wasn't she one of those characters that came out and everybody was like, "Oh, what the fuck? Who are you?"
Maybe that's what I remember her from.
But like when we look back, we'll get to it because this scene really made me uncomfortable.
Oh boy, woo boy. Okay,
like
so
super uncomfortable.
So a young girl is running in the woods, and a preacher man comes and picks her up in a pickup truck, and she's a potential. Obviously, she's running for her life, and she's trying to get to Sunnydale. And the preacher's like, "Oh my God, me too." And at first, it seems like he's here to help her, but then shit goes south real fast.
Real fast. And I'm sorry, that is not your Uber. You do not get in a car at night. I don't care if it is a preacher. Have you heard of cosplay? No, I don't know you. You could have got that on Temu. I can buy that collar anywhere.
Exactly. Which I was just like, my girl. Shannon, my sister in Christ, I need you to be a little more, just like particular,
a little smarter.
Whose car you hop into. Turns out his name is Caleb, and he suggests that the guys are chasing her because she's a dirty whore.
Her face. I done fucked up. I see me. Stop, drop, and roll, bitch. I'd have jumped out of that car. Like I'd have busted it with my elbow.
Oh no, this is clearly I've gotten into the wrong vehicle. I am sorry to have bothered you, sir. And he just keeps going with some really misogynistic shit. No souls, women with no souls, and something about a gaping hole, and
then he clicks the cigarette lighter. Again, I've been like, oh well,
I'm the hell out.
You know,
kicking out
I'm just gonna pee over everything, and we'll see how you feel about that. Look at that. I'm pissing. I'm pissing everywhere. I hope you like piss. But no, she does none of these things. She just kind of sits there and it's just like, ah.
And he heats up his ring with the cigarette lighter, which, man, when was the last time you saw a cigarette? Like, they don't make cars with cigarette lighters.
They don't make, no. Not to mention, she like notices way too late that there's no door handle on her side of the car.
Right. Like, I just would have taken my chances with the dudes chasing me. Like, that's not, I'm not doing good. And so he brands her. He brands her neck with his ring. And he stabs her and says he wants her to give a message to Buffy. And then he pushes her out of the moving vehicle.
Yep.
The car behind him.
It's horrifying.
It's really rough. Like this is like the opening. This is the cold open. Like the first 7 minutes of the episode, and not even 7. Like it's 5 minutes in, and it's just like this is like some really horrifying shit. Now Nathan Fillion is like really playing this role, and I remember when this aired, I didn't know anything about him.
I only knew him from One Life to Live. Actually, he was. Yeah, I knew him from the soap. I was like, why are you here? Like, what's happening with this? And
he
then
really digs
it was
into
like,
this role.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah.
He's a tall drink of water too. Like I was like, all right, you're making me feel something all thorn birdsy here, and I don't like it.
Thorn birds. So the car behind him just happens to be Willow and Faith, and they pick up Shannon, and oh my God, we need to help her, and Faith is like, Willow is just like, really, oh my God, she needs help, and Faith is just like, yep, welcome back to Sunnydale.
Here we go. Here we go. We ain't even hit the town border yet.
Right. What you got?
And for those of you that don't watch Angel, the reason that Faith has come back to town is that Willow, shit is getting hairy, and she was like, we need some help. So there's a whole, like, 3 or 4 episode arc on Angel that is probably some of the best episodes they have.
Yeah.
Where,
Yeah.
you know, Willow Dunn
Angelus
made a
comes
fucky
back.
wucky herself. Yeah. The gang made a fucky wucky
Yeah.
and let out Angelus, and they bring Willow to LA to put the soul back in the box.
And before they brought Willow, they tried to get Faith, and Faith Faith broke out of prison in order to help Angel.
Which I loved so much because it was like, oh, you think you're keeping her here? No, she's voluntarily staying here. Then she just jumps through the visitor window and is like, we're gone.
Exactly. Like the way she, like, Wesley tells her what's up, and she's like, step back. And then she's like, boom. Like, right.
Okay. Well, okay, Missy.
I got you. I see you.
So Willow puts the creature back in the box, and her prize is to bring Faith back to town because we need her.
Yes. Very, very desperately. And the entire next scene is Caleb and his dialogue. Like, the entire next scene after the credits, along with Caleb's dialogue, and even the title of this episode is just, like, really eye-opening and extra gross here on June 21st, 2023. Knowing what we know about Joss.
Yep. Because knowing what we know about the show, I don't see Drew Goddard writing this scene.
Oh,
with Xander.
Did. Right.
I feel like this was an add-on by probably Joss himself.
Joss and probably Nick, to be quite honest.
The scene is disgusting.
It's gross.
It's disgusting.
So it's like, Xander.
Not that it wasn't icky in whatever 2003.
Right.
Because it was.
It was still questionable because I still, like, nobody was, like, really clear about how old these girls are. First and foremost. I wish we could have gotten some clarification. Like, at the beginning, just tell me, are these girls in high school? Are they not? Like, what's happening? But,
right. Because this is Rachel Bilson before the OC.
Yeah.
So she couldn't have been that old.
Right. And I know Xander makes a comment that he was younger than they are now when he started slaying.
Right.
So, like, what? They were 15 when they started?
I think so.
It's
so
still
he's
not
like having
it's still
this
not a big
weird...
enough gap.
No. No. And he's having this weird, disgusting dream about 2 of the potentials who've never been with a man before. And I've never been with her with a man before in front of her. It's just really, really out there. And then for some reason the door pops open and all the girls are having a pillow fight in their underwear. Like, this does not seem like this is not a Marty Noxon episode.
No.
This is not a Jane Espenson episode. Like, what
Marty
was
and
the
Jane
point of having all these girls?
Set.
No. There was no need to get all these teenage girls in their underwear.
Nope.
It's just not, it's not okay. And it would not happen now.
No, absolutely not. So Xander wakes up he's snapped back into reality by a backed up toilet. Because I guess a lot of these girls are staying in his apartment. And somebody's got the flu and the toilet's backed up. And there's just like another weird comment about a leg cramp. So,
it's all really gross.
Moving on.
Oh, yeah. Poor Faith and Willow are at the hospital with the girl because she's being worked on by the doctors, and it's just not Faith's vibe. She had enough of hospitals.
I get it.
She looks real uncomfortable. I get it.
Right. She's like,
I can't do anything here.
And she also lets Willow know, she's like, you know what? I'm feeling some kind of way about all of this. Like, somebody's trying to end the Slayer line and nobody called me. Willow's like, we thought you were safe in jail.
Which, another side note from Angel, there is an episode, is it that same episode where they bust her out, or is it the beginning of that episode? She gets attacked in jail by somebody with one of the bringer knives.
Yeah, I think it's the same episode.
She puts her down.
Quickly.
Which makes Willow's statement of, we thought you were safe, completely valid.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, you were a little bit.
You know,
Well,
because
I'll
these
bet.
potentials, they are just that. They are potentials. You,
Right.
Missy, are a full blown slayer. You have way more
You're
power than they do.
you're a grown ass
And the
Slayer.
only person, yeah, the only person that hasn't been, is Buffy. She's the only one that could probably take you
Yeah.
because she's
And
kind of done it before.
so Faith goes to go find Buffy. She finds him in the cemetery, and Buffy and Spike are patrolling there. Faith finds
Mhm.
Spike first after he knocks
Yes,
out a
she
girl, and all Faith sees is a vamp attack a human, and so she goes in on Spike. And
Mhm.
seeing that they both played on the good and the bad sides, there's some misunderstanding here.
Yeah, a lot of misunderstandings.
There's a lot of who's on first situation kind of happening, and Faith knows who he is because body swap
Uh-huh.
on
Uh-huh.
site, and he knows who she is only by reputation.
Yeah.
And they go on around and around, and then Buffy shows up and punches Faith, and Faith is like, "You protected vampires now? Are you the bad Slayer? Am I the good Slayer?"
Am I the good Slayer? Best read of a line on this show.
Yes,
It's fantastic.
Love that.
And yet, as much as things have changed, some things never change. And the female vampire comes back to attack them once again. And Faith has to yet again take a stake off of Buffy like she did the very first time they met
Love it.
so that she can stake this vampire.
A lovely little callback. I appreciate it. So they get to the Summers house, and poor Faith is greeted with a very cool and cold response by Giles and Dawn, who, damn, like if looks could kill, she was
Right? And it's like, on one hand, it's like, all these memories are fake, bitch. Why are you mad at me? You, I don't actually know you. Like, I was actually in jail that whole time. I've never actually met you.
right. I have never laid real eyes on you. Like,
Right.
can we not do this? Like, let's not play this game. You don't even know me. Stop it. Stop
Right.
it. Keep your little nasty attitude to yourself. Fuck. Right. Buffy's still salty with Giles about the whole him trying to get Spike killed business. And
Yeah.
she's on my nerves about it. Like Buffy.
Yeah. I do like the way that Faith is just like, Spike breaks it all down and she's like, oh, makes me feel a certain kind of way about everybody
Right.
in this house, pretty
Right.
much.
It's like it makes me feel better about me, worse about
Mhm.
Giles.
Giles.
A little shaky about you.
In
In the
Now
meantime,
we gotta go put up with Caleb again.
oh god, this dude with his speechifying. He's having like a little happy hour, a little personal happy hour in the wine cellar, and he's tossing back a few and monologuing about the Last Supper. It's
So
like,
much monologuing. And this
Very
whole time I'm like, who are you even talking to? The wine? Because we don't see it. He's just walking back and forth talking to someone.
Yeah, and it turns out it's the first as Buffy. And Caleb is like the prime example of people doing some of the foulest shit in the name of God. Like I need you all. I need it to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But we do get some excellent explanations. Like apparently he blew up the council and he organized the Bringers. And he says something, and I quote, "sticking all them splits." I don't know what that means.
Is that a gymnast term? I guess. I don't.
Sticking all
I-
them splits. It's like, and I got a 10 every time in the gymnastics, coming in with splits. Caleb with a perfect 10.
With a perfect 10. He's so creepy. So creepy.
And so Andrew, not to be forgotten, he does a lovely little intro of exposition about Faith for the potentials.
It's so
Complete
wrong.
Complete with a, like a little, montage of past Faith hits and misses. And then he confuses, like, remember when Faith, like, killed a volcanologist? In his telling, it's a Vulcan.
An actual Star Trek Vulcan. And what's great is the producers, they went to, I guess they're like producers of Star Trek, and were like, we have this idea, we want to do this. And they were like, go for it.
Nice.
Do what you want. And so in that little thing, there's no music when she's fighting the Vulcan, just like classic Star Trek. Which is just amazing.
That's awesome. For a hot second, I thought the Vulcan was Zachary Quinto. That would have been like amazing.
That would have been amazing.
Like, it's like, oh, you got to play Spock well before you played Spock.
That would have been so funny.
But I love how Amanda tries to correct Andrew, and he's like, no, I don't think so. Like, why would Faith kill somebody who studied Vulcans? She's like, bruh.
Silly Amanda.
But he boils it down to, don't ever forget, Faith is a killer. So when shit goes down, she may not be there for you.
Yeah.
And then Buffy tells Wood that she doesn't have time for his vendetta, but she needs him on the fight, and so he fires her.
Yeah.
Not because she doesn't have time for his vendetta, but because he realizes she's got real shit to deal with, and also she's terrible at her job. I mean, let's be real.
When was the last time she was even there? And shit's gotten so bad in the town. Are kids even going to school anymore?
He claims that they're not. He's like, half the kids are showing up to school, so like, I don't really need you here.
Right.
I barely needed you
the last
to begin
time
with.
He got hit with a rock a couple weeks ago. Like, go home, Buffy.
Like you're not good at your job.
Mm-mm.
Faith goes down to the basement for a smoke and to escape the potentials, which I get it. It's a house full of little teenage girls. Like, shit can't.
And they're horrible. They're loud.
They're so loud.
And Andrew. And there's Andrew. Like,
right.
Put all of that energy and then Andrew.
Right.
No, thank you.
Poor Faith, like, she's crawling out of her skin, I'm sure. But she goes down in the basement and finds Spike. It is so unnecessary for him just to be sitting in that bed like that. Like,
is it? Is
like,
it though?
But what's he, like, who are you waiting for? Like, really? Like, what's happening right now?
It's
just
daytime.
He's just on display.
He was asleep. He was supposed to be sleeping.
Okay. Because I'm still picturing him just being down in his basement alone, looking at the walls, like no reading material, no TV, nothing.
No, I just assumed it was daytime. He was sleeping and he sat up when she came down the stairs.
Okay. All right. I'll take that. But like, they get like real. We're teased with the possibility that Faith is gonna make good on her body swap promises.
I mean, it was, as she said, a long incarceration. So,
which, you know what? I give her points for not jumping on him immediately. I mean,
yep.
Oops,
I fell.
Under normal circumstances, like let alone her being had been locked up for however long.
Right.
And it's Faith, like her sex drive is like 10 times the normal person. So I'm surprised she wasn't fucking immediately after she got out. But anywhoozles, Spike explains the situation with the chip and the trigger and the soul and da-da-da-da. And they bond a bit that both of them have been dangerous for a while. And
yeah.
Then they don't look.
They don't. But she does clue him in on the whole body swap thing because he tells her that him and Buffy have been
so like he
he
quotes back to her basically exactly what she said to him. Like, oh, you've been thinking about this for a while there, son.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought you
didn't forget about it. And she's very physically like, oh my.
Yeah.
Hello.
She's like squirming and like she's basically like on top of him. She's like centimeters away from him and she's like, yeah, you should have known it wasn't B. She wasn't gonna throw down like that. And he's like,
you've been gone for a while.
She's like, what?
What do you mean?
He gives her the juiciest bit of gossip ever. Like that tea has dropped and she is sopping it up with biscuits. She's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yes. And of course, Buffy shows up with like being real snotty.
So snotty.
You guys are out cozy. Oh, Shannon wakes up and Buffy goes to her at the hospital, and she tells them about Caleb. And he wants Buffy to know that he has something of hers.
Everyone in the house is smarter than this, right? Like,
except Buffy. I love it when she brings it to him. She's like, he has something of mine, and John's like, it could be a stapler.
Yeah. Giles being funny. Trying to be funny.
But in the meantime, like, Caleb is doing a little bit of role play with the first evil. Like, and he's like asking requests, like, do the girl that I did before. There was a girl that I did before I met you, and blah blah blah. So he's been a serial killer since before he met the first. Like, he's been doing this for a while. Yeah. So even though everyone is like, Buffy, this is a stupid idea, Buffy plans on taking all the girls back to go get her stapler. And everyone's like, it's a trap.
It's a trap. I don't care. I want my stapler. I liked it. It had comfort grips on the side. And I'm sick of all of you. We need to thin these ranks because some of you have been eating my fucking Cocoa Puffs, and I'm tired of it.
So if we
let's go.
The herd, we can thin the herd a little bit. Like, that'd be great.
That would be great.
And for whatever reason, Buffy decides to dress up for this. Like, she changes her clothes.
She sure did.
Puts on like little
a bank manager. Mm-hmm.
Those
earrings are gonna get ripped out of your freaking head.
Right. And she has like a lovely little high collar jacket with a ruffle. Like, what are we doing, Buffy? You're not.
What are we doing?
We're not meeting. This isn't a first date. Like, stop it. You're going to fight, hopefully. And
meanwhile, Faith is like, I think this is what I wore when I got arrested.
You know what? Like, yeah, am I to believe that Faith has been running around in the same outfit and underwear since she broke out of prison?
I think so. Unless they gave her some clothes in LA. And I don't think... unless she's wearing Cordelia's clothes.
No, I don't think so. I know that somehow, like, I remember when she broke out, and I remember her being in Wesley's car, and he had a change of clothes for her. But I think this is the same outfit that she's been rocking since she got out.
Yeah, I think this is that change of clothes.
Oh, Faith, baby.
Poor Faith.
I mean, I know she didn't have. All right, anyway, so Buffy keeps talking crazy to Giles, and you know she's about to she's gonna smack her in the mouth real quick for it. But while everybody's gearing up, Xander gives a few last-minute tips on fighting, and he's like, "Go for the eyes."
Foreshadowing.
Make
A
sure
little bit of foreshadowing.
Go for the eyes.
Just remember you said that, Xander.
Yeah, and everybody's still like, even especially Rhoda, what's her name?
Rhoda.
She's like,
Rona?
Rona, yeah. She's like, Buffy is dumb. Like, this is a stupid plan. We should not be going into the lion's den. This is dumb. And Xander starts to cape real hard for Buffy. Just, she's the best. Yeah. She knows what's best. She loves everybody. And Buffy overhears it, and she gets all teary-eyed. And apparently that's enough to get everybody on board again. Like, I mean, at what point are you just like, you know what? I am in charge of my own body. I would like to say no to this. I'll be back here. You guys tell me how it went.
To patch everybody up when you get back. Because somebody's got to watch the house, right? I'm going to be the one that watches the house.
So the group arrive at Caleb's old vineyard and are immediately attacked by bringers. And I love that somebody calls it an evil vineyard, and Spike is like Falcon Crest. My dude loves
They probably have no idea what that meant.
Right.
I mean, it's a stretch for me to know what Falcon Crest was. Anyone watching this show today would probably not get that joke at all. They would have to Google it 100%.
Yeah, like I barely. It's just like a breath of that. I get it. It's like, okay, I know the reference. I understand what the show was. I never watched it. I wasn't old enough to understand it, but I get it. And it's like
a lot of bitches slapping each other.
Right. Well played, Spike. Well played.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Why are there
Caleb
so many abandoned places in Sunnydale?
I guess, people things hit the town. They're like, folks just leave and are killed.
And left on the wine? Yep. We're just taking it. Now, I will say, as much as I hate Kennedy, I hate Kennedy a lot.
Oh, something fierce.
Something fierce. She is the most capable potential Slayer. She can hold her own. I actually don't worry about her in a fight. She can hold her own. And she doesn't have power yet. So that is actually one impressive thing about her.
Yes, I guess she's very nice.
Whereas all the other girls, except for Amanda. Amanda's actually not bad herself. But Molly?
The other ones, like, they're really into that freeze up and just freak out. Just like, you guys have been training for a couple months now. Like, I feel like we should be, like, you've seen some rough shit. Like, this should be a little bit tougher at this point.
Like, you've had them going out on patrol every night, Buffy, right? Like, they've been... Yeah. They've not just been learning from Kennedy. They've been going out on patrol. They shouldn't just be deer in headlights. But, of course, they are. And shit goes south real quick. Real bad.
Makes his grand entrance. Yeah. And Buffy's like, I heard you have something of mine. And he's like, I do now.
I sure do. Looking honest. And Spike's like, nope, I'm going to save the day. And I don't know how, but Caleb is basically like, tink.
Yeah.
Get out of here, little boy.
Well, first of all, like, Buffy's reaction to him being like, I do now, the look of, oh shit, I've made a poor decision on her face.
It would have been great if they did a pan around the room of everybody being like, told you.
Right.
I fucking told you.
Right. It's like, didn't I say it? Didn't I call it? I told this bitch. I said. Like, just Reese here rolling in the back. Told you.
Told you. As she's walking out the back door. I told you. My Uber's here. I gotta go. But everyone does the best that they can because it's not enough. It is just not enough. Faith gets her ass kicked. Spike gets his ass kicked. Buffy gets thrown halfway across the room.
Yeah, he punches the dog shit out of Buffy.
Yep.
One time and she goes across the room and is knocked out for a few minutes.
Rona gets her arm broken. Yeah. She's almost killed by a bringer.
The one little girl gets stabbed. Another one gets her neck snapped.
Yep, so I don't even know her name. Caleb snatched her up and Molly's all like, no! And he's just, yes.
Yes.
It snaps this bitch's neck, and I'm like, who was that? Look, girls are falling.
I don't know. Girls potential are falling. 17. I don't know. She's number 17. But when Faith rolls up on him, like the hand-to-hand that goes on with that, like that choreography, it was a thing of beauty. Yeah. I mean, I hate to see Faith get taken down like that, but that shit was dope.
It was really dope.
But he greets her. He's like, "Oh, you're the other one." He's like the Cain to her Abel. It's like, I love that. I never thought about him that way.
Yeah, it's such a good comparison of the two of them. It just sucks, like you said, that she doesn't best him, and then he goes on to kill more people. He's quipping as he's doing it. He's just quipping. You know, with Molly, he's like, no, yes. And then he grabs up Molly and he's like, what can I say? I work in mysterious ways. And then he stabs her in the stomach and he's like, and some not so mysterious ones.
And he's never breaking
quip while I'm... No, I am actively dying and you're quipping.
Some respect, please.
Some. And then the coup de grace, he snatches up Xander as everybody's fleeing. And he says, oh, you're the one that sees everything.
Oh.
Let's see what we can do about that.
And he shoves his thumb in his eye.
Thumb in the eye. I don't like it. This show likes eye play, and I don't care for it.
I would prefer we not
fuck
around with eyes, please. Can we just stop poking around in people's eyeballs? That would be great. Thanks. That just really skews me out. Yeah, and yeah, poor Xander. Poor Xander. And yeah, and then we just kind of everybody that leaves, and we end up at the hospital. You know, like Caleb is still like there's a Caleb monologue happening over top while the views of everybody in the hospital, and Buffy just like looking around like, ugh.
Look what I
fucked
did.
up.
I fucked up. Real bad. And everybody looking at her like, you fucked up. You fucked up. This was you. All you.
All this. This is on you. This is on you.
When they ask for the insurance, put Summers. That's who's paying for this shit. Because think about it, she just ruined his career. He can never carpenter again. He can never hit a nail straight again. He was
right. Right. That's right.
His
she
whole
just
life
took him
was
out of his
ruined.
whole job. That's all that he found something that he was great at.
Yep.
And could make like an honest living. And he was doing well. He was doing all right. And here comes Buffy. Like, we're going to go in there and we're going to fuck some shit up. And oh, no.
Yep. And there's not even a council. You can't even save your receipts, like Giles said that one time. There's no council anymore, so there's no reimbursement. There's no 401k or medical plan. No. You're just fucked.
Yeah.
And so she goes off through an extended walk through town, which I don't think we really needed. It's like the writers were like, fuck, we have 5 more minutes left.
I was like,
we have 5 more minutes left in the show.
Like, I thought we covered it. I thought we had it. Like, all right, just have her walk through the empty town square. It's empty? What time is it? Why is it so empty?
Right. Why is it so empty?
We don't have time to get extras.
Just have her walk down the street. We just need an outro scene. And what's great about this is it sets up these last 4 episodes, which we're on a good run right now.
Yeah.
And it sets up a nice little switch of maybe Faith becoming Cain to Buffy's Abel.
I love it. I love the power dynamic that switches. Up. So we didn't really have a specific song this time.
No, there was just it had a really good score though, but Robert Duncan no actual songs this week.
Yeah.
The burn is during a conversation, Spike says, Angel's dull as a table lamp and with very different coloring.
Right? It's like when she tells Faith that he has a soul, and she's like, oh, he's like Angel. He takes real offense that I am nothing like Angel.
Nothing like Angel. And it's not the first time this season, or the last time this season, that they'll compare the two of them together. I can't wait for the punching bag scene with the drawing.
Yes. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Bodies.
Ugh, we had 3.
Bodies hit the floor.
Is that all? It seemed like there were so much more.
It seemed like a lot more little girls got dead.
That's what I thought. But the Buffy Wiki saying that we had an unidentified vampire in the beginning of the episode, dusted by Faith. A potential named Diane, apparently.
Sure. Okay.
Sure. Her neck was broken by Caleb. And poor Molly, our adorable UK potential. She was so sweet and stupid, but I adored her. She was stabbed in the stomach.
Pitiful little heart.
Mm-hmm.
This does not pass the Bechdel test. Like, it actually, this is offensive to
it's just downright offensive. Yep. Just downright offensive.
As fuck. Random trivia.
In the truck, our Caleb uses that cigarette lighter to heat it up and then burn Shannon's neck. But when she moves there's no burn on her neck. So it's like, where'd you burn?
Okay.
Where'd you burn?
That would have left a mark.
Yep. Moral of this story. This story is too... don't trust people.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. And especially those who are like always like quoting the Bible. like in your face.
Yeah.
Like those are some of the worst ones. Like they got something going down. Don't get into strangers' cars. Like things are just weird.
No, they're just weird. You know, I've said that about Uber. I'm like, we grew up saying don't get in a stranger's car, and now we do it.
I know.
On a
voluntarily.
regular basis.
Not only do we do it voluntarily, but we pay them.
We pay them. Now I'm always like, I triple check the license plate. I make sure they ask me who I am first.
I always share my
I
trip.
do too.
With
I share my trip with my sister, and I text people the whole time that I'm in the car.
Nice.
It's like I'm not getting killed today.
Like
not
nope.
Today.
You will not. Will not be a dateline about me. No, ma'am.
No, my foot's not ending up in the river.
I refuse.
I refuse. But next time we have empty places.
Empty places.
Empty places. And it's true. It's because everyone's leaving Sunnydale in that episode. Everyone. It's a mass exodus at the beginning of the episode. Everyone's leaving.
That's right. And I guess this is the one where things get really hairy in the Summer's house. Because,
Yep. But let us know what you think of the episode.
Yes, tell us your thoughts. You can record a MP3 file, less than 2 minutes, email to revisitingsunnydale@gmail.com, or you can just subscribe, follow, like, and just talk to us on the interwebs. I am Kahmeela on Twitter. You can find me at _rugged angel.
And me, Marcella, at Watch with Marcella, just the W.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
You don't have to spell the whole thing out.
Until next time.